Hey guys, welcome to Gamer Stadium. My name is Nathan, and if you're watching this video right now, you probably already know that the Borderlands 3 world reveal happened today, and chances are you probably already watched it too. The trailer had tons of information, gameplay, and even some Easter eggs, but chances are that there are some things that you probably missed while watching it, and the same goes for me. But after going through the video frame by frame, I'm going to try my best to point out some of those things that you probably didn't catch the first time around, so you get a better idea of what's going on. Now do keep in mind that since there's so much content in the trailer itself, there's probably a lot of things that I don't end up covering, and that's okay, because we are scheduled to get more news about the game on April the 3rd, according to a tweet by Gearbox, so I'm sure more information will surface between now and then. Anyways, let's get on with the video. Let's start off with the fact that only 6 sirens can exist in the universe at once, and after looking at the trailer and based on previous games, it seems as though we know all 6 of them. These include Maya, Lilith, the Calypso sister, Amara, Angel, and Commandant Steel. Now don't jump down my throat quite yet, let me explain. Maya, Lilith, the Calypso sister, and Amara are all sirens that are currently alive. They are adults, and so were Commandant Steel and Angel before they died. Which means that even though there is currently room for 2 more sirens to be alive at this current point in time, we probably will not be meeting them anytime soon because it has not been that long since Angel and Commandant Steel died, which means that they're probably pretty young. I hope that makes sense. Oh, and by the way, I don't want to confuse you guys with the names Amara and Calypso. You guys will understand where I'm getting those names later on in this video. Alright, so a tweet from Gearbox right after the panel started stated, "Prepare for an all-new mayhem-fueled adventure across the worlds of Borderlands 3. The keyword in the statement is worlds. This pretty much confirms what we saw at the end of Borderlands 2, right after you killed Jack and saw the map of the galaxy with all the rest of the known vault locations. And as far as I can tell, there are 3 other planets outside of Pandora that contain these vaults. These planets include Eden 6, Demophon, and Promethea." In this screenshot of the trailer, this further backs these statements since we can clearly see the setting of a planet without an atmosphere, and we can also see these new robot-like enemy types. Moving on, let's talk about the new Vault Hunters. First off, we have a robot which can be seen knife fighting in the trailer, so this leads me to think that he might be a melee-based character. Then we have an older man who can be seen demonstrating an ability in the trailer very similar to that of Zero's Deception mode, where he makes a holographic copy of himself. Next off, we have a person who originally I thought was Tiny Tina, but then I started having my doubts. The reason I say that she isn't Tiny Tina is because if you guys look closely at the trailer, even though they look similar, she doesn't have the same face, she also lacks the bunny decorations that Tina has on her outfit, and she also lacks Tiny Tina's bunny mask. But then again, I could be wrong. Anyways, her abilities seem to be robot related. In the trailer, she can be seen mounting a mech-like robot, and also in this picture, you can also see a small drone flying by her side. She can also be seen carrying extremely long sniper rifles, which leads me to think that she might be more of a ranged character. But moving on to the last Vault Hunter, which is Amara. Now we know that's her name because Randy told us as he was breaking down the trailer at the beginning of the panel. Now Amara is quite unique in many ways. First off, she's a siren, which is pretty obvious since she has both the tattoos and the powers of a siren. And speaking of powers, some of the ones that she showed off in the trailer included her ability to phase shift 6 arms, control what seemed to be electricity, and she even seems to have a phase lock ability similar to that of Maya. So taking all this into consideration, as far as I can tell, she seems to be the most overpowered of the new Vault Hunters. As far as previous Vault Hunters go, we can see that Brick, Mordecai, and Lilith all return with some outfit changes, especially Brick, who seems to have a mustache and now plays the saxophone. We can also see the return of Maya from Borderlands 2, sporting a pretty major appearance change including a hoodie and longer hair. Zero can also be seen for a few seconds, but his appearance seems to be mostly unchanged. Alright, let's move on to the main enemies of the game, which include the Calypso twins, as well as the children of the Vault cult. Now, rumors have been flying around about the Calypso twins for about 2 months now, and throughout the trailer you can see multiple signs that sport their faces. 2 of these places that have these signs are major points of interest though. The first is a place known as the Hidden Broadcast Center, and the other seems to be a fortress which is home to the children of the Vault cult. Now if you actually look closely at one of these signs, you can barely make out the names of the Calypso twins, which seem to be Tyreen and Troy. Tyreen is of specific interest because she's also a siren, as I said before. And once again, this is proven by the glowing blue siren tattoos on her arm. But besides Tyreen, some other notable enemies in the trailer include the return of the Raging Goliaths from Borderlands 2, the robot enemies that we talked about before, and even giant Varkids, which may lead people to think that Vernivorous may be making a return, who knows. And also one more thing to point out is that Borderlands 3 now has female psychos. Now on the topic of enemies, if you look closely in the trailer, you can see what appears to be a couple of bosses and boss arenas. The first possible boss is this pretty terrifying looking mechanical skull with glowing red eyes, and what seems to be a giant spinning saw for a penis, which is possibly its primary attack. Next potential boss is this giant red dragon in what seems to be a boss arena similar to that of a castle from the Tiny Tina DLC from Borderlands 2. The dragon itself seems to have the ability to do fire attacks as well as hurl what seems to be miniature electric dragons at you. Anyways, moving on to the last boss, or boss arena rather. If you look at this picture, you can see that you're enclosed in an arena similar to that of the arena from the Badassosaurus Rex fight from Borderlands 2. Also, if you look at the top right and left corners of the arena, you can see these pictures who you can assume to be the bosses you were fighting, and the text included states, "Let the terror begin." Alright, so now let's run through some more random bits that you might have missed, including that of some locations. We saw plenty of new locations that we're going to be able to explore in the game, including that of jungles, swamps, and even the dust in Borderlands 2 since we saw the return of Ellie's garage in the trailer. Another notable location in Borderlands 3 is this very cool looking city, but unfortunately we don't know very much about it at this point. Hopefully it's not just something you look at from a distance, but a place that you can actually freely roam around and explore to its entirety, because this city looks like it would be a great place to loot. Some other random bits include the return of the new U station and also the Catch-A-Ride station. As far as the vehicles you guys can get from the Catch-A-Ride station goes, we don't know all of them yet, but we do see the return of the Bandit Technical as well as this new hovercraft looking technical thing, and there's also that one big single wheel looking bike that we saw originally in the teaser trailer. Now the last thing I wanted to leave you guys with is if you guys look closely throughout the trailer, you can notice that the loot chests and ammo crates that you guys remember from the first two games have totally changed appearances. In Borderlands 3, they seem to have a much more futuristic and clean look to them rather than the old chest and crate look that they had in the previous games. Alright guys, I know there's probably a lot of things that I may have left out, and if there are, then feel free to leave a comment down below so I know what they are. Anyways, make sure you guys keep your eyes and ears open, because in about a week from now on April the 3rd, we're supposed to be getting some more news on Borderlands 3 from Gearbox, so I'll definitely make an update video then. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, then be sure to leave a like down below, and also subscribe if you guys want to know whenever one of my videos go live. But until then, take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.